Hey there guys, it's Mr. Burnson with your YouTube activity for this week. We are going to watch a video of a guy named Luke Combs. He's a country guy, country singer, country guitar player, songwriter, and he wrote a song during the early pandemic called 6 Feet Apart. It's hard to tell with the light in here, but this says 6 feet and right here it says apart. It's hard to see. Anyway, it's a song about staying apart and doing the right thing during a pandemic, and about how hard that is, and about how he misses or missed people that he couldn't be around. You know, early in the pandemic, they were telling us we should just stay home like all the time, not go out really at all. And I tried to do that in the early pandemic, and boy, was that hard. Not seeing my parents very much, not seeing my friends at all, not hugging anybody, not shaking hands with anybody. That was really hard. That's kind of what the song is about. Being a professional musician is especially hard because professional musicians make their living playing music for people and entertaining people. And again, in April and early May, nobody was doing that. We were told not to have concerts, not to go out at all. And there still really aren't very many concerts, not very many places for professional musicians or even amateur musicians to play. And that's really tough on those people. They train their whole life, in many cases, to be ready to do that sort of thing. So I thought it would be a good song for us to watch now, since we're back to school and trying to stay 6 feet apart at school. You may not be into country, this may not be your cup of tea, but I hope you can at least appreciate the sentiment and appreciate what he's singing about here. So that's going to be our YouTube artist this week. So let's learn a little bit more about Luke Combs right now. Here is what Luke Combs looks like. He is 30 years old. He was born in 1990 and is still alive. 30 years old is about how old a lot of your teachers are here at school. He's kind of a regular guy. One of the things that a lot of people like about him is that he doesn't always dress up. He doesn't try to look like a model or anything like that. He just kind of looks like himself and acts like himself and is very sincere, and a lot of people really like that about him. He recently got married. There on the left is his wife, Nicole, I believe is her name. She is in the music business as well. I don't think she's a performer, but she works at a record company. And I think it might be the record company that he records for, something like that. So I think they met when he started recording for that company. And again, they were married last summer, so congratulations to them. Here are some things I want you to know about Luke. His most popular songs, at least on YouTube, are a song called When It Rains It Pours and a song called Beautiful Crazy. I didn't actually watch the video for When It Rains It Pours, but when I watched the Beautiful Crazy one, I was impressed. It's kind of a song about being in love and about how the person that he's in love with doesn't do everything exactly the way he would want to, but the things that are kind of crazy about her, he loves about her. He thinks it's beautiful that she acts like herself. Luke is notable for a number of things: being relatively young, being kind of a regular guy, as I mentioned earlier. Also, I think it's interesting that when he was in high school, he was a football player, apparently a pretty good football player, but also a musician. I think a lot of people in our schools these days think that you can't do both. You can't be a good athlete and a good musician. You can't be in a band class or a choir class and still be a good basketball player or volleyball player or whatever, but that's not true. And Luke is a good example of that. He has won a lot of awards at country award shows and Billboard awards, that kind of thing, for being a really promising young musician. He got some awards like Best New Artist and Best New Singer, that kind of thing. So he's pretty young in the music industry, but he's kind of becoming a big deal. And it's good for us to know about him. Some things I think we can learn from Luke, right up above me here. Number one, you don't always have to play all the strings in a chord. some of the strums that you'll be seeing here in his performance today aren't all the strings. He's maybe playing all 6 strings on a G chord sometimes, but just a few strings sometimes, and that gives his music some variety, which is a good thing. Number 2, he uses some interesting strum patterns. So he doesn't always just go down, down, down. He does some up strums and makes some patterns of downs and ups. And I'll be teaching you about the pattern for this song at the end of this video here in a minute. So that's kind of neat. And finally, I think it's good to write about your life. So this song is about his life and about how his life changed when the pandemic started and how being a performer made it difficult to get through the pandemic and deal with the pandemic because you don't get to go out and do concerts anymore. Some of that stuff now is opening up a little bit, but much of what he's singing about in the song here is about how difficult it is to not be around people as much as he would like to, and how difficult it is to not be performing as much as he would like to. Yeah. Here are your questions for this week that you will see on the 3rd item in this folder after you watch this video, and then the performance video by Luke Combs. You will do the assignment, the little quiz. Question 1 is the same as it always is. Why do you like or dislike this performance? Please be specific. Tell me why you like it or don't. It's also possible that you like it for some reasons and dislike it for other reasons. It's okay to feel however you feel, but you need to tell me why. You need to justify. And please write complete sentences. Sentences that start with a capital letter, there's the L, and end with a period or question mark or exclamation point. Question number 2, what is your favorite style of music? Styles of music that are common right now would be pop music or rock or country, jazz, punk. If you've got a favorite, please tell me what it is and why. So you could say, I like pop music because it makes me feel good and my friends like to sing along with it, period. Something like that. Question number 3 is the same as it always is, which is, what is making you mad, sad, or glad today? I always like to know how you're doing. And since it's hard for me to spend much time visiting with you in only 2 days of class each week, it really helps me to hear how you're doing when you write it on your assignment on Schoology. So thank you for being open and honest with me on that so I can be a better teacher for you. All right, let's talk a little bit about how Luke plays. First of all, he likes to play Gibson guitars. Gibson is one of my favorite brands. I've got 3 Gibson guitars. These are 2 of them right here. This is an old Gibson from 1964 that belongs actually to my dad, and he lets me use it. And this is a Gibson from around 2000 that I really like, that I bought myself. And it's a bigger Gibson than usual. It's a bigger Gibson guitar than usual. Gibson is the brand, by the way. Like Ford is a brand of car, Chevrolet is a brand of car, Gibson is a brand of guitar. Okay, so take a look at the difference in the size here. This one is a normal size guitar. This one on your right is bigger than normal. It's a jumbo guitar, and that's the kind of guitar that Luke Combs likes to play, a Gibson jumbo. I love jumbo guitars because they're louder, and that's good for me because I have a little trouble hearing. I don't know if you noticed in school, but I have hearing aids that I wear on my ears to make everything a little bit louder and so that I can hear a little bit more clearly. Anyway, Luke likes Gibson guitars and so do I. In this song, he does a lot of this chord, this G chord. It's not the normal G that I taught you in class. It's a little bit different. It uses 4 fingers. That's a kind of G that's often used in country music, like this. And then he does a chord that I've never taught any of my students before, D sus4/F sharp. That's a long name. And it also uses 4 fingers. So here's the G. 2 is here, 1 is here, 3 is here, 4 is here. Here's the D sus4 / F sharp. These two fingers don't move. Finger 2 goes down here to string 3 fret 2, and finger 1 goes up here to string 6 fret 2. So he does this. That's the basic riff, the basic pattern that he plays in the song. I wanted to show you something new here for Guitar 1 students. Guitar Ensemble students, you know this already, but Guitar 1 students, this is the pattern Luke Combs does with his right hand. This symbol, it kind of looks like an upside down staple. That means down strum. Go down toward the floor with your hand. The thing that looks like a V is an up strum. So with my right hand, if I want to sound like Luke Combs on this song, I need to go down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So he basically does this G chord for these ones, down, up, down, and then right here he switches to D sus4 / F sharp, like this. So having a pattern with your right hand, doing some down strums and some up strums, makes your music more interesting, and it's part of what I like about this song. There is also a part in the song where he stops doing that. He just kind of goes like this, just holds it for a little while to give a little bit of variety. I like that too. Another really cool thing about Luke's playing is that he doesn't always play all the song or all the strings. Okay, there are no X's on these diagrams, which means you're supposed to play all the strings. But sometimes he plays fewer strings than all of them. He plays just a couple to just mix it up a little bit. Sorry. Sometimes he's just playing a couple of them. Something like that. So kind of watch that too in the video. All right. I sure hope you like this, or at least can appreciate it. Now that you're done with this video, please watch the Luke Combs video of 6 Feet Apart, and then do the thing that says do this last. Take the little quiz, the little writing assignment, and you're good. Thanks, guys.